On this week of the SJ Child Show, I interview Nico Smith. Nico is an autistic self advocate. He is an artist and does sketches and amazing graphic digital art. Check out his art and his animations and enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to the SJ Child Show. I'm your host, SJ Childs, and today I have a new friend and someone I'm really excited to interview. He is out of Hawaii right now, so we can all be jealous and wishing we were there with him, I'm sure. He is a talented artist and a really phenomenal individual who I'm really looking forward to learn more about his story. And without further ado, thank you, Nico, so much for being here today.
Wow, nice to see you too, SJ.
I'm so glad that we could get together. I wish I was in Hawaii and not in Utah, of course. But that's okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how old you are now, and when it got started for you getting an autism diagnosis.
Well, when I was a little kid, I couldn't really speak much. All I did was watch Disney movies, write, draw. I wouldn't actually play with other kids. So, what they did, they took me to the doctor and they found out that I am diagnosed with autism at age 3.
Mm.
That freaked my parents out because they didn't really know how to handle autism. So they did a whole bunch of research. They got me into therapy at Sacramento State University. They put me in the Mind Institute. And what else? They put me in special schools that helped with disabled people.
I love that. It's so nice when parents find the right resources to help their children to be the most successful they can be. And it sounds like your parents did a great job of doing that and supporting you. What do you think is some of the strategies you learned at that age in those special schools and with those therapies?
I'm learning how to stay on topic, go with the flow with what is happening, do my homework, study with other people rather than go into my little world about Disney and everything. You know, if I still had that skill today or mindset, I wouldn't have a professional job because I'm undereducated.
Yeah, well, and I think that that's really great accountability for you to take and to say, these are the steps that I need to be a professional. And that's really inspiring, and I'm really proud of you for doing that. Tell us about your high school age, like that age. How did that go for you? Were you still receiving services? Did you attend your IEP meetings?
I was attending meetings and IEP services at the beginning of high school until they found out that I was doing pretty good in high school when it came to communicating with the other teens. And it was great.
Oh, wonderful.
That made me less concerned about my autism because everybody liked me, everybody wanted to hang out with me. Those years were the best years of my whole life.
I love to hear that, Nico. Do you still have some of those same friends or relationships from high school?
Oh, I talked to all of them on Facebook.
It's the place to go to talk to everyone.
You
That's
know, I don't like social media nowadays because today it's like an emotional dumping ground when it comes to
Mm.
politics. And I am not a fan of politics.
Me neither. I will agree with you on that. We'll stick to our good topics, huh? Well, tell us a little bit about some of your interests because they are very interesting. So tell us about that. Tell us when that started. How old were you when you realized that you loved to draw?
I realized that I loved to draw when I was 12
Mm,
because everybody was looking at my artwork and saying, wow, this guy is an artist. Draw me something.
incredible. What's your favorite piece of art that you've done so far?
Well, most fan arts that I've done in the past and in the present, I have done fan art of Zootopia. I've done fan art of Sly Cooper. I've done fan arts of video games
That's
and
amazing.
Marvel movies.
Wow. Do you have a favorite like type of drawing as far as what's your favorite medium to use? Do you just sketch?
I digitally draw on
Okay.
Photoshop.
Fantastic. Graphic art is fantastic. It's the new way of the future, right?
Well, yeah, because when you draw in Photoshop, you really feel like you're an animator with
Yeah.
those black lines and colors and cell shading.
Wow, that's fascinating. I would love to check out some more of your work definitely. We'll have all of the links for all of the work print down in the description, of course. And tell us a little bit about some of the maybe the more famous works of art that you've done from geography. So I think that that is something that you've also been interested in.
Well, I have drawn a digital drawing of Hawaii. I have done a digital drawing of, let's see, I've done one of the German Alps.
Ooh. Oh, have you been to the German Alps?
I've never
Uh,
been there, but I really want to go so bad.
so beautiful. Absolutely. Where else have you traveled?
I have traveled to the Caribbean. I've traveled to Mexico. I've traveled to China.
Oh, that's incredible. How about languages? Have you had to learn some languages along the way in your travels?
Well, I spoke a little bit of Chinese when I was in China, and I decided to learn some more Chinese.
Amazing.
I have learned German and spoke it at many Oktoberfests.
Oh,
And I used to be fluent in Italian, but not anymore.
when you don't practice, right? Sometimes it's hard to keep the skills up.
There's just so many skills that are building in the present and everything, and it's hard to keep track of them all at the same time.
Absolutely. I think that you're just a fascinating, incredible human being. So
Aw,
proud of
thank
you for
you.
doing that. Yeah, I love that we get to celebrate all of these things. So let's talk about another interest that I think is really, really great. And I think it's a really great thing for parents, especially to hear when we lean into our children's strengths, especially our kids with autism, when we build their strengths, they can then use them and turn them into applicable things in the world someday. And let's talk a little bit about how that happened for you with an interest that you had in music and video games, right? How did that start?
In Palm Springs, my uncle that I've talked to, he gave me this Nintendo 64 for Christmas. It was very fun to play. When I pressed the start button, people were like talking to me, and I thought I broke the video game system. Yeah, it's just a call.
No problem.
Boop. And since then, when I played video games, I watched people dying in the video games. I decided to try that on purpose. So that way, either I would learn how to play the video game, or the pitfall animations really reminded me of Alice in Wonderland, the
Oh.
shot where she does the backflip to say goodbye to her cat. So I kept jumping the character off the cliff so I could
Okay.
trigger that animation.
Oh, my son loves to do the same thing. He finds something that really like feels good and relates, and he does those types of things, like to watch those animations over and over again as well. So I completely see how, that's comforting and everything. Let's talk about your guitar experience. When did you pick up the Guitar Hero guitar?
I played guitar shortly after I mastered Guitar Hero on hard.
That's amazing. And
They had many events in high school.
what was it like when you picked the guitar up for the first time, like a real guitar, and you had like an actual understanding
I
of
had
how
a
to make
super
music?
ambition to try out the songs that have been played on Guitar Hero.
That's amazing. And it's just so cool. Just like, when my daughter was learning how to do multiplication, I had an idea that I should let her play Minecraft, which is her favorite video game, and build multiplication tables out of the Minecraft blocks. And that really helped her because she has dyslexia, she has autism, and being able to get in that learning with special interest, you can't beat a better way of parenting, right? And you don't have kids
Yeah.
yet, Nico, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's for all the parents listening that can help their kids by paying attention to their special interests and really showing them how to turn those interests into real world applications. Tell us about the job that you have now and what you're doing now.
I am right now a lot associate at Home Depot. I take all the carts, carry them all to the entrance, so that way people could pick up carts and go shopping. I help people load stuff that they have a hard time loading.
Oh, that's nice. That's wonderful. And I know that it's not something you're hoping to stay there forever. What type of goals and hopes do you have for other professions or other things in your future?
I really want to make my own animated franchises,
That's fantastic.
like George Lucas has Star Wars.
Okay. What kind of steps do you need to take to get there?
Well, I draw out some characters, design their personalities, and then I find a setting to place the people in.
Wow.
Like the three characters that I've drawn on the site, I've drawn them as the imagination of an autistic kid that really wants to be in a rock band.
I love that idea. And
He has a
people.
hard time making friends. He has a hard time getting a job, hard time everything. And he creates this little fantasy world to escape. Well, literally. It's kind of like atypical, the Netflix TV show meets James and the Giant Peach-ish,
I
where
love that.
the boy turns into a cartoon and relives his world.
That's really, really great way to show autism and to show the struggles and the challenges that many autistic adults face in the community in getting proper work accommodations, in finding great social situations to be a part of. Are there some groups in Hawaii that you're a part of there?
Well, I am part of the Autism Society of Hawaii, which is headquartered in Honolulu. Very few people from there exist on the Big Island.
Oh, that's great. And so they just
Most of the
travel.
autism community is in Maui or Oahu, because Oahu is very populated.
Mm. Right. That's where Waikiki is, right?
Yes,
Mm.
in
I
Honolulu.
Okay, I have been there before, but it was many years ago. So, what types of activities are you doing now in your spare time?
I am drawing fan arts. I'm playing video games. And I am just going around the Big Island. Recently, I've been to the bottom of Kilauea and saw many rock formations and craters.
That's amazing. I love nature, and that's the best place to be in nature, isn't it? How
Yeah,
do you like to swim? Do you like the ocean?
I love the ocean.
Wonderful. How about
I
surfing?
like going body surfing.
Ooh, okay. That's great. As an adult, how, and I asked you this previously, we talked about a dating a little bit, and you said it's a little bit hard. What are you trying like on social media, or do they have any social activities through the Autism Association?
Well, I have tried Tinder a lot,
Mm.
but got ghosted every single time I'm that close to developing a big friendship.
Definitely hard. I can't imagine because I haven't
It's
had
really
to
hard for me
do
because it
that.
felt like I've developed a relationship. It feels like she likes me until suddenly she disappears.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, hopefully we can maybe talk, maybe find like a really great social skills, like a dating course. You know, they have some autism like dating courses where you can learn what types of conversations. And I think it's so important to even find friends that have your same interests and then, go from there. So I think that it's really, um, it's hard to imagine what dating's like in this social media world that we live in today as well. So I commend you for having to do that, and hopefully it does get easier or better for you in the future as far as that goes. Any resources that I can help you find, absolutely will do that. So we'll see what we can come up with. What
Sounds good.
about what about advocating for autism there in Hawaii? What type of advocating have you found that you can do? Do you go to schools or anything like that? Have you thought about that?
Well, I've thought about that. What I would say for autistic people, I say go to school. That way you can study the skills that you need to live in the real world, like math, science, cooking, social
Mm.
skills at recess, and build your imagination all around these subjects. So that way you would get more into them.
Mm. That's great advice, too, especially for some of our younger autistics who might be wanting to have independent life and wanting to know what they need to do to make those skills happen. Are you living independently now?
Yes, I live in my own apartment in Keauhou, where King Kamehameha III was born.
Wow, that's interesting. So you like history, I'm assuming.
I like history, I like landmarks, and I like culture.
Mm, those are fantastic. That's making you a very diverse individual.
You know, if you were to imagine me in a adventure movie, think of me as the character who brings out a book and gives out all the facts that they read about.
Yes, that's a great way to display that. I love that. I hope that you are able to do the animation, for yourself in the future. And like I said, I think that there are a few connections that I can make, and we can find maybe some opportunities for you to do some of that stuff.
Oh, definitely. I would like that.
I know, it would be fantastic. because I really see your determination and your your light for life and everything. And I'm so glad that we were able to make this connection and talk about, your story. Is there anything else that you have going on in the future that you're looking forward to?
Oh, I'm hoping that I can get my stories out there.
Tell us about your stories.
Well, this is the film about this autistic group being in the world that he created. It revolves around everything he ever desired. He wants to have a job. He wants to have some people attracted to him. Well, he has a few people attracted to him in that world because he's turned into an anthropomorphic mouse, and cats are attracted to mice in that
Oh,
world.
gotta watch out for those cats.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, being so proactive to not only, you know, enjoy what you're doing and tell your own story, but I don't even know if you realize how inspiring and how wonderful it is for families to see how talented and successful you can be. And success isn't about everybody has their own definition of success, right? Mine is having a successful family, and that's been amazing for me. And it's just unique to everyone. And I think that finding everybody's unique story and success to share is so authentic and fun, and I just love it. So thank you for sharing that with us today.
I'd like to have a major company fund it, and I can hire some really cool people to voice some of my characters.
Wonderful. See, those are the kind of goals that we just need to put into action, right?
Right.
I like it. Well, thank you so much, Nico. It's been such a pleasure talking to you today. And when I do air the episode, I'm going to make sure to put some of your animation and artwork up if you have give me the permission to do so. To show everyone
You
and
can totally do that.
yeah, share and display. And I'm so glad that we made this connection, and I'm so grateful that Andy put us in touch with one another. So shout out to Andy for that. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'd love to stay in touch.
All right. See you later. Ahui ho.
Hi, and thanks for joining the SJ Child Show. The SJ Child Show brings value to families through education and resources. But the SJ Child Show isn't just about me, it's about us as a community. Join me as we help educate and support our community, help bring kindness and love and inclusion to all. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and watch. I really appreciate all the support from all of the viewers and listeners, and I just want to let you know I want you to join me on this journey. Come and follow my social media, and let's do this together. Enjoy the show. Introducing Autism Vehicle Home Safety Kits, Emergency Responder, alert stickers, personal profiles with autism needs and a communication board, masks and earplugs, keeping families and emergency responders educated and safe. Get yours today at sjchilds.org. Helping autism families impact their child's developmental milestones through home relocation, community resources, and home designs. For every 3 homes Natalie Castro sells, she funds and designs a sensory room for a community center servicing individuals with autism. She volunteers to coach law enforcement, first responders, and ER nurses how to have a positive experience for individuals on the autism spectrum. The The SJ Child Show, produced by SJ Childs LLC. Thanks to all my viewers and listeners for your continued love and support. And thank you to the guests of the SJ Child Show. It's been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you to everyone who continues to support me. Go to my social media and let's build this community together through kindness, compassion, and education for others.